I got all these articles yesterday. I was supposed to make a video yesterday, but I was like, no, I'm too tired. Might as well do it tomorrow morning, which is today. But yeah, employees hate Siri and are skeptical of its future. The report says, the only thing I use Siri for is to like stop my alarm, and that's it. When I had Android, I used Google Assistant all the flipping time. It was so useful. And yeah, I can see why Siri is basically being frowned upon by their own Apple employees. I would imagine that Apple, one of the most richest companies, it would be on that. But no, Apple is not really a software company. It's basically just hardware. And it's funny. And with the latest AI stuff, they would be doing something with Siri, wouldn't they? Just incorporate AI into Siri. Wouldn't be as straightforward as it would seem, but they could do something. Today's report is based on interviews with more than 36 former Apple employees who worked in its AI and machine learning groups. The report follows a similar story from the New York Times earlier this month, which explained how Siri is built on a clunky database that ultimately leads to taking weeks for Siri to be updated with basic features. And Apple even lost 3 of its Siri's engineers to Google. I really want to like Apple, because I use Apple devices, but not, I'm not a big fan on Apple. As a company, they do poor decisions that really harms the consumer. And the fact they're not really putting much into Siri or anything, it's weird, because every other company is. Microsoft is being weird about it. They have Cortana, which basically is now Siri. And it used to be Google Assistant, It used to be the best. Like when I had Windows Phone and you could do everything with Cortana, and now it's basically a feature that most likely will be deleted one day, because Bing AI is basically doing everything. I don't know why they didn't just incorporate that AI into Cortana, but okay, I guess. But we'll see if Apple does anything with this. On that note as well, in 2019, the Siri team explored a project to rewrite the virtual assistant from scratch. I can't say it. There. Codenamed Blackbird. All I can think about is BlackBerry when you say that. The effort sought to create a lightweight version of Siri that would delegate the creation of functions to app developers and would run on iPhones instead of the cloud to improve performance and privacy. I did not know that it was run on the cloud. That is kind of concerning what you could say to Siri, and the fact that Siri is always listening for you to say, "Hey Siri," that seems like a major privacy concern, I would imagine. Blackbird competed with the work of 2 senior lead developers on the Siri team, and these individuals pushed for their own project, codenamed Siri X, for the 10th anniversary of the virtual assistant. The project simply aimed to move Siri's processing on device for privacy reasons, without the lightweight modular functionality of Blackbird. This was almost completed in 2021, as now most of the voice assistant functions are processed locally. So they got some of that to work on the device, but not entirely. Although this might be, if they do go with AI, it might go back to the cloud, because most of AI is in the cloud, unless they, make a special dedicated AI component within the new CPUs. From the South China Morning Post, Apple leans into health and wellness apps, planned AI-powered health coaching, mood tracker, and blood monitors. So basically, Apple wants to create an app for basically mental health and all that stuff. It is weird, but it makes sense in a way. Apple's already tracking so much from your Apple Watch, if you have an Apple Watch. After they created the first Apple Watch, with all those sensors, they suddenly created the Health app to track all of that. And then I think it was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when they created the new fitness app, which is, in my opinion, severely lacking. Like, I would still use Strava over that fitness app. But yeah, they've been pushing for a broader health market, which is interesting. And the idea is they will use AI and data from Apple Watch to make suggestions and create coaching programs tailored to specific users. You know, it'll be interesting to see Apple, you know, just like recommend stuff. Hey, you should do this today because you were so unhealthy yesterday. That would be very interesting to see if they do that. I don't know, I found it interesting, you know, go for it. From Apple Insider, Apple's long-rumored all-glass tactile keyboard may be a real sooner than rather than later. I can't even read. Maybe real sooner rather than later. So this is a technology that we've been working on to create a physical keyboard on the display. So eventually they'll make the display like pop up like these little bubbles here, and you'll be able to press them like an actual keyboard. I guess I can play the video from Future Interfaces Group, just like a tiny little portion. You know, looking at it like this, it looks like a pimple, but I mean, people like to squeeze them. I'm pretty sure they'll like to touch them on their screen, don't you think? So here they have an actual iPhone interface. It's like a huge display. That's not an actual anything. I think, wait, that could be an iPad, but I don't think it'll be that big. Like even the notification and then the snooze button has a little, I don't think it's going in. It's very hard to see what's actually going on, but essentially everything is popping up and you can press it. And I am all for this. I want this. I was always thinking about something like this before. And I swear, if they're like listening in on my Siri device, you know, just listening to all my ideas. Moving over to Microsoft, Windows 10 is finished as Microsoft confirms version 22.82 is the last. So Microsoft released a statement. Basically Windows 10 support lifecycle. They will no longer be adding features or anything like that. So it would just be security updates and all that, mainly focusing on Windows 11 and the next version of Windows, whatever that will end up being called. So if you're on Windows 10, you know, it's time to upgrade. Now, Windows 11 gets a lot of hate, but it's really not bad. It's really not bad. It's actually really nice. If you like remove some of the stuff that they've added, like for me personally, I remove the widgets, you know, in the icon and the chat thing, you know. So I just removed that and, you know, I'm fine. My tip for you, like if you don't know what I'm talking about, I go to personalization. This isn't my main PC, so I can't really show you. But I go to taskbar and I just turn off chat and widgets because I never use those. I never do. I mean, I could use this, but like I have no one to talk to. But yeah, that's basically what I do. And then I just go to task manager. And I just, you know, performance wise, I just disable the startup stuff because I don't really use them. Like Cortana, I don't even use it on this device. I can just disable. Might as well just do it now. So this is my usual setup. I also don't use Microsoft Edge unless I'm on this machine. Firefox all the way. Also, one of the main reasons I don't use Microsoft Edge might be sending every URL you visit to Bing's API by mistake. You know, a part of me thinks or believes that this wasn't by mistake, and now that they've been caught, they're just saying it's by mistake. So, you know, if you use it, good luck to you. Good luck to you, really. Microsoft Edge has such nice features. I love it. But privacy issues. I'm a big privacy fan. But yeah, other than that, it's good. Coming from The Verge, Google plans to add end-to-end encryption to Authenticator. So if you use an authenticator, you use the Google Authenticator app, and if you're using Android, I would assume, you are able to back up your authentication codes through the account sync on Google devices. And the problem is it wasn't end-to-end. The problem is they don't have end-to-end encryption. So all of that is available to anyone that, yeah, not a good thing, especially when you're using an app about security or for security, to not have the latest security features. That's a big misstep. So if you're using Google devices, maybe just wait on syncing your authenticator to your Google account. Just wait on that. Not much gaming news, but for me at least, the Final Fantasy 16 limited edition PS5 controller and console cover is shown. I don't know, I can even download this as a wallpaper. I don't know, man, there's something about it I just love. For some space news, Voyager 2 has been in space for 45 years. NASA just found a way to keep it alive for another 3, despite it being 12 billion miles from Earth. That is quite a distance. They've done this by hacking their own system and hacked a backup source of power to keep Voyager 2 working. Together, Voyager 1 and 2 have traveled further than any other spacecraft. I just still find it amazing that they can even communicate with a device that's 12 billion miles from Earth. I'm just saying, it seems quite weird. I mean, to get a signal out that far is quite interesting. At least I know I can get Windows updates 12 billion miles from Earth at least. If that case ever arrives. From Throne Arena, new iPhone 15 Pro and iPhone 15 Ultra CAD render show different camera designs. It is interesting that they have the new, well, we already know they have the new periscope telescope, the periscope camera. It will be interesting if it looks exactly like that. I don't know, I think I'm a fan of the design. As well as the new buttons, I think it's quite interesting. And the difference between the Pro and the Pro Max, I don't know if it's my brain or it's just, it seems like a tiny bit thicker, tiny bit. But I think it's just my brain just telling me, hey, it's a Pro Max, so it must be bigger. And there's definitely a size comparison here. And also these phones will come with USB-C charging, finally. And of course, thinner bezels. We all love that. I don't know, these renders, they're looking good. They always look so much better than the actual devices. For some reason, it's just so nice to look at. But I wish they made more images to see the back of the phone. That's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye bye.